Broken Controller Show. Not entertainment news, entertaining news.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Broken Controller Show. I am yet again joined by my esteemed colleagues Mike.
Oh, hello.
Corey.
Howdy.
And I'm Blake. So, we are here on episode 3 now.
Never thought we'd make it this
We
far.
made it.
Oh, I know it. It's kind of crazy, really. You know, it's been a long road. I'm surprised we've made it this far. You know.
Got that 1 cent in ad revenue. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting there.
Killing it.
We're making it big time. So, we have a lot of things to discuss tonight, and I think we're gonna try to power through them all just so we can try to get them all in on one episode. But we might have to do 2 episodes out of 1.
Well, there's 2 or 3 things in here I know that's going to just run forever. So
Well, yeah, we could probably go 30 minutes just on one of these things.
I'll just find my buzzer and cut us off.
still
well-
need to invest in a ham horn. Why haven't we done that?
I don't know.
That's a good idea. We do need to get one. Travis, insert ham horn sound. Go. Okay, so I guess we should start with Monster Hunter because Michael, you played it.
I did for exactly 1.5 hours.
That's not good.
No. I feel like that game has a very particular audience, and for that audience, it's fantastic
Hmm.
because it's huge and open and it is fun. I just don't. It's not something that I could sit and play for hours and hours and hours. But it is a good game. The graphics are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really, really good. The gameplay is not bad at all. It's just not my cup of tea at all.
So you described it as a button mashing game.
It is very much a button mashing game. Well, sort of. I mean, there's strategy to it as far as how you have to defeat each monster. Has a different like weak point and different cues for its attack, so you can dodge it. But it's still kind of button mashy.
So that kind of reminds me of Mortal Kombat because to me that's how Mortal Kombat was. You're just mashing buttons, just trying to swing whatever you can to kill whatever you can.
That's pretty close. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's funny you say it has a particular audience. I watched a video on Facebook, and there's a 76-year-old woman that plays it.
Monster Hunter.
Not even joking. She said she loves the realism of the world and, of course, fighting the monsters. but
The realism of the world with the dragons in it.
yeah, like she likes
That
the
world?
graphics and the mountains and everything that goes along with it. And she actually enjoys playing against the creatures.
76-year-old woman.
Yeah,
She
not
probably-
even joking.
She probably developed Capcom. That's why she plays it.
But no, she really enjoys playing it. And like you said, anybody can play it because it's a button mashing game.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is fun, and to her defense, the graphics are incredible. Like they look really cool, and you get an awesome little combat kitty.
Really?
I can't remember what they're called. The palicos, I think. Palico. They're called palicos, and you can get armor for them and stuff. They're little cats that walk around bipedally. It's pretty neat.
Well, that's a weird. Well, leave it to Capcom. You know.
Well, the sword that you carry is bigger than the human.
Well,
so imagine
yeah.
the cat's weapons. The
Yeah.
cat starts with a shovel. Just attack stuff with a shovel.
Hashtag CatCon.
I feel like that's a place where never mind.
I know where you're going with that. Cut it off.
Just a
Kill-
parking lot full of Camrys and cat fur. Oh man.
Okay, next topic.
Yeah. So you basically forced us to start playing Rainbow Six Siege.
I did. And do either of you regret it?
I'm not 100% there yet, and it's kind of the same thing with World War II. Just because I'm decent at it or good at it doesn't mean that I necessarily like it yet. Anyways.
So hold on. Are you saying that Call of Duty is better than Rainbow Six?
Oh no,
Okay.
no.
Just making
Definitely
Okay.
not saying that.
Thank goodness.
They don't even compete. Siege is good. I'm having a hard time trying to get used to the way they have things laid out because it's not something like you're used to seeing. And even with a Tom Clancy game, for me, it feels completely different too.
Yeah, it feels completely different,
Yeah.
like Wildlands or something like that.
I would
Yeah.
say that it is, and it's its own game. It's very, very unique.
It's very
Yeah.
even from the other Rainbow Six, it's still completely different.
Well, and see, my thing too is I have never really been a huge fan of Tom Clancy games. Like they've always been something that I can just, I could take it or leave it. If there was anything else that I had, I would probably play it.
Right.
But the more I play this game, the more I want to play it, because the more I play it, I'll get 1 or 2 kills around, and then
Whatever.
well,
Your third game, you had like 8 kills.
so I'll get a few kills around, and then I want to keep playing more to try to get more kills,
Yeah.
and then it angers me when I die, so I want to keep playing again to try to get more kills again.
So I have 2 little topics on that, and I've almost already forgot them. But I know the first one was whenever it first came out, I played it, and I think it's more along the lines of the same thing that Destiny, the original one, had. It started off rough and then got really good. So that's kind of, I feel like since I've came back to it, it's a whole different game. But now my other point is, the people that are on there now have been playing forever, and that is the only problem I have, is it's hard to keep up with some of those other people on there.
I'm completely with you on that because I played it when it first came out, and I don't know if they changed the damage model or if they changed something, because I couldn't do anything when it first came out, and now I'm decent at it. And Corey's lying too. He got an ace last night, the first night playing the game in like a year.
It was fun.
Flanked with an auto shotty, but still, it was an ace.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I did play 1 or 2 games with you guys last night before I got off.
No, before PSN crashed.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
PSN.
let's just go ahead and
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
what was going on there. Like they've been having multiple crashes, right?
I don't even know what to say.
I know I was looking, and I think here in the since middle of January to now, they've had an increased number of crashes. Now, whether they affected everybody or not, that's a different story, but something's been a little different for them.
Well, let me segue into something else then. Wait, that was a Roadrunner. Segue. Travis, insert segue sound.
What sound does a segue
Wait.
make?
Something like that, probably.
VA powered Segway.
Yeah. So, Fortnite has beaten PUBG in concurrent players. Fortnite currently has 3.4 million and PUBG has 3.2 million. That being said, PUBG is only counting for PC. So that's 3.2 million players just on PC. And Fortnite was clocked at 3.4 million across all consoles.
So PUBG's probably slaughtering them. If PUBG was on all platforms, PUBG would be slaughtering them.
Probably. But still.
And on top of that, Fortnite's free.
But still. Like, again, here's this small developer coming in and...
Well, Bluehole's not much bigger than Epic, though.
Well, yeah, but PUBG has been around a lot longer
True.
than
I get
Fortnite
what you're
has.
saying. It's impressive that they can keep up in a way. I mean, but granted, they are being overwhelmed right now on Xbox. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. But in the amount of time that they've been around, the places that they have gone, and then coming in and beating PUBG in concurrent players, like, come on, And I wonder if that could have something to do with PSN's crashes here lately. Just a server overload of so many different things going on.
That would be funny if that was the reason Sony can't keep up with it, but Epic can. I doubt that's it, though.
No.
I mean,
I would think that 3.4 million people is just like a drop in the bucket for Sony, though, in
Yeah.
terms of
If you
traffic.
picture all the games and yeah.
you would hope so anyways.
Although I guarantee you, COD World War II doesn't have 3.4 million concurrent players.
Guarantee you it does not.
Let's
I
just go
would-
ahead and blame it all on Russia.
We could.
I'm just going to blame it all on microtransactions.
Of course you will.
Please don't.
Can we
the
please
triggers,
just stop
please
bringing
don't.
up Fortnite?
The trigger. Why? Fortnite is a
Decent?
decent game, but now that I have Siege to play, since Mike was so kind and generous and
You're
gave
a
me
good
my
neighbor.
Valentine's Day present early, he bought Siege for me. So it was a used copy. Well, listen at him. It was a used copy though.
This is a judgment-free zone.
Yes. PG. We try to keep it at least PG-13, Corey. I don't
How many
know.
genders are there?
There's only 2.
The anger in your eyes is building. I can see it.
It's probably because I'm like holding back the roid rage over here. Not that I do steroids, but I am currently doing steroids.
You want to know why? We want to know why. What
Yeah,
happened to
please
you?
tell everybody.
So I had an allergic reaction to something. Still have no clue what it was, but I basically looked like a blown up puffer fish for about 2 days. Like what's the Will Smith movie Hitch?
Yep.
Where he's sucking down the bottle of Benadryl
I can
after
see
eating
you
the
doing that
shellfish.
too.
That's
Just
all.
yelling and everything. Just, oh.
That's pretty much what happened. So it could be the steroids that I was given, and I'm trying to fight back roid rage. I'm not too sure. But anyways, Fortnite is a decent game. But if I had my choice, I've got about 3 or 4 other games sitting underneath my TV stand that I would much rather play.
I would probably concur with all 3 of those except Battlefield.
Speaking of Battlefield,
Yes.
we
There's-
talked about this last week. There's a new one. We still don't really have much info, but the same person who leaked that Battlefield 1 was going to be a World War 1 is saying that it's going to be Bad Company 3.
Do they have the same writers? Do we know that? Have the writers changed since Bad Company 2? Because that game was hilarious.
It was a funny game.
Oh, yeah.
It was still, all of the to me, the gameplay was just the same as all the other Battlefields. Battlefield 1 being the exception, because that's the only one that I've liked. I mean, I've tried them all.
You didn't like 4?
Mm.
I thought 4 was fun.
See, here's the thing. I remember I enjoyed Battlefield, Bad Company,
Me too.
and people did not seem to enjoy it. I've heard a lot of people say that they did not like it, and I just don't see the problem because I enjoyed all those and pretty much every Battlefield except for Hardlines.
Hardline.
That was a filler game and an unfinished game. They
Yeah.
really did them. They shot themselves in the foot with that one. They should have just waited, but that's a different story for later.
That's the equivalent of Call of Duty Ghosts.
Well, see, I thought Ghost was good. The online was it needed work, but I thought the game as a whole was a decent game, and especially the campaign, even with Bad Company. Any of the Battlefield campaigns I've played have been great.
Well, I thought Hardline's campaign was good.
It was good, but when you got online, it's just like Call of Duty. It's all the same Battlefield crap until Battlefield 1 came out, and to me it seemed like a completely different game.
Well, considering they haven't went back in time in quite a few games.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Now, let's not ignore the fact that they had Battlefield 1943, which was that mini kind of game they put out that was only online.
I liked
remember
it,
that
though.
one.
But that
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But that's a whole different
Yeah,
game. I wouldn't even put that in the regular line of games that they've made.
That was a beta, wasn't it? Wasn't the whole time it was out? Wasn't it a beta?
I think so. I know they had a mode where it was like air supremacy
Yeah,
or something.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Play that for hours. But the word on the street from just about every game that I've seen, and one of them I think may have been confirmed officially, is that everything's going to have some sort of battle royale option to it.
Well,
This
it's
year.
just the going thing right now. So what do you expect? They're going to try to jump on the money train.
Yeah, but when you have games like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example,
Yeah.
that's the one that we just found out recently that might have a battle royale mode. How do you do that and incorporate it into the game to where it's not just something completely random and off the wall?
I mean, the map's probably big enough originally.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely big enough. I mean, I could see GTA having a pretty neat battle royale mode, but
They all do it, but it'd have to be. I mean, if you're going to do if they were to do that, would you let them do it like Fortnite does and have where you have to find your weapons or stuff, or do you let them just go at it, basically a really large team deathmatch?
So I'm going to go off on a tear here a little bit
Or them already have their own gun.
about the whole, because you hate battle royale games because you lose everything that you get, right?
Right.
All right, so I told you about this last night. I mentioned it briefly to you, the Escape from Tarkov.
Right.
It's battle royale-ish, but you've got like a Pelican case at your base, which is safe, where you keep all of your stuff, your weapons, your armor, attachments, and all that stuff. You keep it there, it's safe. When you go into the mission, you pick what you take with you. And if you get killed, it can be looted off of you by other players. So you have to make a decision. I might need the sniper rifle for this mission, but if I get smoked, I'm going to lose it. I think that would be fantastic for a battle royale game.
that would definitely turn the tide for battle royale games for me. If you made it to where that chest was empty until you got into the game.
It is.
Okay, so then you have to go out and find your own stuff and take it back.
I mean, you get like a default weapon to take
Okay.
with you into the game, but
Yeah.
you have to collect stuff and bring it back. That's the whole point. You go out and you loot buildings and you kill other players and get their loot and take it back, and then it's yours until you take it in and get killed with it.
Whenever you go in to kill people, I mean, are you going? Okay, so here's my thoughts. So you pick up stuff when in this battle royale, and you get killed. So then you're out of that game, right?
So it's kind of like a, how do I explain it?
Because what I'm saying is, how would anybody but the person that wins bring anything back?
Well, there is no winner. Like, it's just a constantly playing map. Like, people are jumping in and jumping out all the time.
Okay, you didn't
I
tell us
probably
that.
should have mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, that could have helped.
So you might go in and not see anybody and be able to loot 15 houses and get some awesome stuff. Or you might go in and run
I
into
could
3
be
other
on
fire
board with
teams.
that a lot more. Now I was looking at it another way. How you were saying, you bring your own weapons in and stuff like that. Like, say if Grand Theft Auto did it, and what guns you already have, you go in and then into the game mode, and then the map just shrinks and everybody fights. When does it become just like a free for all instead of a battle royale?
I think that's the only thing that differentiates it from free for
It
all.
has to be. So I mean, I guess you can't do that. So
It's an anti-camping free for all.
yeah,
I think the Escape from Tarkov model should be in whatever big developer does a battle royale. It should be in there like that, because I think that would be immensely fun. All right, last week my pop filter smelled weird, and now Corey's licking his.
I am not licking it. I was just making fun of you.
You were
I was
pretty
trying to get your attention.
Well, that's a good way to lose a train of thought. There it goes, rolling out of the station. Travis,
And it's
train
gone.
sound. So, essentially, what needs to happen is all of the thoughts of these battle royales for all these developers, basically they need to start listening now. Kind of like EA is doing with Anthem, and they keep pushing it back because they don't want to put a game out that everybody's going to whine about. Take all of the best qualities from all of the battle royale types that are out there now and put them all into one thing and try to make it, try to put everything in there that all of the players have been asking for in a battle royale mode.
Yeah, but I mean, with the Anthem being pushed back, I think they're just going to continue to push it back because they're never going to be able to release a game that. Oh, what is happening? What is happening?
This is so.
Got the Pink Panther over here getting in the fridge right in the middle of the recording.
In the studio right now, which is also my dining room and kitchen, the
He's coming back with the whole 2-liter.
voluptuous Corey is sneaking around with a 2-liter, of soda in his hands.
He did do that quite quietly, though.
He did.
I'll give him that.
I could probably go back and what is okay. So now that he
And
has,
I'm back. I bet anybody never heard me even leave.
man,
I'm so sneaky.
So yeah,
Sorry, I got thirsty. This is the best sound ever. Oh, that
Pepsi.
has to be perfect on the recording.
there goes the train again. So okay, so
Tangents are a good thing, though.
tangents are a good thing until Corey disrupts them with his.
Hey, I was
sneakiness.
trying to let y'all keep talking. I just
How are
gotta
we
It's hard
supposed to
not to
concentrate
stop.
when you're
just don't look at me, okay?
you're over here,
Lumbering about.
yeah, glowing red because you're trying to not make any noise.
Okay.
I really don't know where we. Oh, I was complaining about Anthem.
Yeah.
They say they're pushing it back to try and keep it right and everything, but that's kind of counterproductive because the longer they push it back, the higher the expectations from the community are going to grow.
Which is kind of how I was with Fallout.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
So, I mean, yeah, they need to try to get it out, but I do kind of see because Destiny 2 is still a fairly new game. It hasn't been out that long. At least long enough for Destiny to start being like, or Bungie to start being like, oh, well, we need to start listening to our players now because they're getting upset.
What did you say before we started recording about they're doing a huge update at the end of the year?
They apparently have some kind of new huge update is how I've seen it in any article that I've read about it. It's a quote huge update at the end of the year.
So just be clear, 11 months from now.
More or less, yes.
So over a year after the game's initial release.
More or less, yes. But that being said, why should you have to do a huge update that early into your game's release?
But I feel like that's going to be the we're going to fix it update. And it's like, well, it's been a year and 4 months. There it
Well,
is.
see,
Yeah.
here's exactly what I saw, and I can't remember his name, but apparently it was Activision's CEO said that after the second DLC, which is yet to be named, I'm pretty sure. Because you had the Curse of Osiris, and then there's a second one coming.
The setting's Mars, but I don't know if there's a name for it or not yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is, but I don't know if it's public.
Well, essentially what it was talking about is how on the first Destiny, you had the Dreadnought with the Taken King and all of that stuff. And essentially what he said was it's going to be something more along those lines. It's basically going to fix it. And when I say fix it, I mean this endless grinding that we've all been having to do and every player of Destiny has been complaining about. And essentially the words that he used were because we've lost a player base.
Well,
That's not verbatim, but that's
he's not wrong.
yeah, because they know that they're losing their players and they finally decided, oh, well, we want to make more money.
They're going to come back with a Battle Royale mode.
Now, that in Destiny would be pretty weird. I don't know how you could pass that, but
You just get a whole planet, and then it explodes at the end of the game.
that could work.
Corey,
Yes.
what are you doing?
He's gone off the deep
No, I
end.
was looking at something that I was researching what Blake was saying. Because I know I heard about that, but I also heard that they have redone or are working on redoing the Nightfalls strikes and raids and all that.
That would, especially the Nightfall, would make me so much happier if they would do some.
Well, do
done.
you remember how we talked about a couple weeks ago
Previously
how
on the Broken Controller.
how we wanted map packs,
For
basically.
Nightfall.
Essentially, that's what it talked about.
Look at that.
So I don't know if that very angry email we sent to Activision and Bungie got their attention.
No. We didn't send anything. I know this is an audio show, but right now I'm pointing to Corey and I. Don't send angry emails. You've sent more angry emails to Epic.
You know, they deserve it too.
So I'm reading, and apparently this is what they're doing. They specifically said the Nightfalls and should be the most or should be more challenging. Not more challenging. That's not what I'm trying to say. Sorry, no.
Whoa.
They are a very challenging activity, and any fire team of any size or skill level should be able to do it. So you
Yes.
don't have to have a certain amount of people.
Yes.
And what they're saying is you should be able to adjust your challenge level accordingly.
Depending on how many people you have.
Well, not even that. Like if you want to do it solo, but you want it to be easy, hard, medium, whatever. So that's what they're wanting. One thing they're wanting to improve on. And they also said if you complete this, they want to work on your rewards.
So, do the rewards reflect what level
Yes.
you're on?
That's what, from what I'm reading, it's going to be, if you go with, the easy mode or something like that, it's going to be just a regular, brain fart, purple Ingram. We'll just call it
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And then if you do the legendary, I don't know why I was having and if you do the next level up, it'll be one that's, I don't really know if this is it, but a slightly higher light level. And then the next one will be an exotic, or what do they call them? The masterwork, Ingram,
That would be kind of cool.
So, for each level, you get a better reward. I think that's what they're working on.
And I feel like that would be a lot better if they did it correctly.
So, what Bungie and Activision are saying is, sorry we released the game a year too early, but we're going to fix it later.
Well, I think
Thanks for your money.
the Destiny community had a lot of expectations to this game because, like with the first one, they released a game that in its beginning was terrible, and it took 2 years to finally get it to the point to where people didn't mind playing it. But at that point, you've already lost most of your fan base, your players, and I think they got a lot of them back with the release of Destiny 2 because they were like, well, we'll give it another try.
Now they're all gone again.
Now they're all gone again, and probably going to stay gone. So
I hope
guess
Anthem's good. I hope it is.
yeah, but then we have to play on potato servers, and yes, EA, you have a potato farm as a server actually.
That was the best comment I saw last night whenever PlayStation went down. Some guy in Idaho goes, well, PSN is down, back to playing with my potatoes. Sorry, that just made me think of that, and I laughed a little too hard.
We did kind of tear off from that. The whole PSN thing. Does that bother anybody else? Because when I had an Xbox, The only time that I remember there being outages, it was either scheduled outage for maintenance and they gave you plenty of heads up on,
Mhm.
or it was literally like 5 minutes. And then somebody at Microsoft was like, oh, I stepped on the power cord. Sorry.
I think I don't. It doesn't bother me because I'm all Sony all the way because I just don't like the way that Microsoft does things.
You don't like the Xbox dashboard, is what you mean to say?
Well, that I just ever since I've switched back to the PlayStation, I don't with this new stuff. I mean, even the 4K, the big 4K debacle. When Xbox announced that Microsoft announced that Xbox was going to have the 4K and all this, that, and the other, Sony's had that.
True.
That's not new. We've had that since what, the PlayStation 3? 4K is not something new.
I don't know about all that.
All the
That might be a
Xbox
bit
gamers
extreme.
were like,
that's a little
we're getting
extreme, but-
4K.
See, here's what happened. I started off on PlayStation with the original one, and then went to PlayStation 2, and then I switched sides and got the 360. And now I'm back to PlayStation, and I think I agree with you, Blake. I will not be switching back to Xbox. If anything, I'm going to PC.
That was, yeah. I
But
wasn't going to advocate for Xbox. I was on my way to just saying I'm going to
Yeah.
buy a PC.
but I will say, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Dadgummit.
Well, speaking of PCs,
Triggered.
before we
Triggered.
before we run out of time here, let's take a minute and talk about the PC Master Race here and crypto mining. Like,
You're going to try and squeeze his rant on crypto mining into 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
I want to try to get it done.
Okay.
So, the PC Master Race, as we all know, is the Aryan nation of consoles, and
Demonetized.
and this massive wave of something called crypto mining has just been taking over pretty much anybody who does any kind of PC gaming.
Hold on, time out. Why is it specific to people who do PC gaming? There's all kinds of people who are doing the cryptocurrency.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but if you are a PC gamer, and I believe this is why it got so big, if you are a PC gamer, you probably have a graphics card
They can maintain it.
that can maintain and withstand this crypto mining uselessness.
I don't know. I don't think it's gamers. I think it is completely people that are, because all you have to do is sit on YouTube for 5 minutes and you know how to do it.
Well,
It's
yeah.
that easy.
I mean, from what I was reading, because I had absolutely no understanding of it, and just got tired of hearing about it, and got tired of hearing about all the coins and not to copyright or anything, but all of the different types of coins that you can use or purchase things with, and okay. So
My problem with the entire cryptocurrency is I'm going to take this button off my shirt and call it a cryptocurrency. It's worth $100,000.
Mhm.
That's what we've done with cryptocurrency.
Yes.
It's stupid to me.
yes,
It makes no
and
sense.
there are currently over 1,400 different types of cryptocurrency and counting. So we could make one and say that it's $100 million. And if you want it, you have to pay for it. And then immediately we have $100 million because somebody wanted it.
We can call it Grognard coin.
Grognard
coin.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But
that would
no,
work.
I don't think it is PC gamers at all. I think they are the most upset about it, and one of the most affected by it because, has anybody looked recently at the prices of a graphics card that is absolutely, I think 400 times what they were or something like it's.
The whole time that we were sitting
It's-
in a party on PSN last night, I was building a mock PC for myself when PSN was down and we were somehow still in a party. Still don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Weird.
But anyway, I was scrolling through and it was a GTX 1050 base, not even anything special. And it was $249.99. Seriously? I felt like that used to be like $180.
Well, in the past 3 months, I've noticed because I had one built and I looked at it in my cart in Amazon.
Important messages about items in your cart.
Yeah. When I looked at it last about 3 months ago, the price was about half of what it is now for the graphics card. Everything else is pretty much the same. The processor is still the same, everything else is the same. But it's specifically the graphics cards that have gone up because that's what you need to be able to process this crypto mining. That's the main component of it. And the reason is I was doing some research on it. The reason is these manufacturers only keep about a 3-month lead of those graphics cards on hand because that's typically not something that is in a very high demand.
Right.
So when everybody started jumping on this crypto mining bandwagon, all the prices had to shoot up because, supply and demand. And it's going to be that way for at least 3 more months until they get caught back up on their levels.
And there's just us here trying to build PCs. They're
Yeah.
just getting
Now, one thing I will say is graphics cards in the lower end to medium, their prices weren't affected as much. But if you go to medium to the high end ones, that's where you're going to see the difference to where they've jumped from, $400 to over 1,000 or they've jumped enormously. And that's because they're the ones that give you the best return.
Well, it's
It
it's
just sucks,
also
though.
a thing too that I've seen. The same graphics card can be a completely different price on a different website.
True.
Yeah. But here's the other, and will it affect the people that are coming into PC building gaming? Not as much. I mean, it will affect them because they are more expensive, but who it really affects are the people that have been in PC gaming and really enjoy it or build computers, not for a living, but they build
Yeah.
That's because they're going to be using the higher end cards, like I was saying, that absolutely triple in price, and that's who it's hurting, and that's who is the most pissed off about it right now.
Well, real quick before we run out of time, just to explain to everybody real quick what crypto mining is, in case anybody has as much frustration as trying to figure out as I did. Essentially, try to imagine that Corey is selling a product, and I want to purchase this product, and I see that Corey accepts Grognort coin, and I want to pay for this item with my Grognort coin that I have. So instead of using real money, for whatever reason, i.e., you don't want to have to deal with the processing fees through your bank, or it's something that I don't want people knowing that Corey has to sell and I want to buy it, whatever the reason may be, I purchase it with my Grognort coin, and essentially the crypto miners are the ones who are verifying the transactions. So they're mutually distrustful third-party persons who are verifying these transactions, who get a small return of Grognort coin as a means of their services. So so they're putting their timestamps on it and signatures, basically verifying that this transaction took place. So at a consumer level, i.e., you and me, we would make about $10 a day from it if we were crypto mining. But if you're Tesla and, or SpaceX or, whoever you want to be, and you're the ones doing it, you're probably making tens of thousands of dollars a day.
I'd say even more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a guy, and it's really smart, just to add on to that, up in, where is it, Iceland maybe? That has all the,
Iceland?
the vents that come out of the earth, what do you call them? I forget what they're called. But anyways, he literally
Volcanoes?
no, dadgummit. No, they put out hot air and whatnot, but he's using that to power his mining his facilities, and that, so he has just buildings of
Oh, yeah.
mining, and
Interesting.
they're self-sustaining and all that. So he's
Yeah.
basically just sitting there, just raking in hundreds of thousands a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you want to talk about just systems? Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, that's what happens is when these larger companies, you could say, that decide they want to buy up all these graphics cards so they can start trying to get the most money they can. I mean, it's an easy way to make money. And apparently, by the way, Bitcoin has been around since 2009.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time.
I never heard about it until last year. I'm not really into that's not really my side of the field anyways, but I had never heard about that until 2009, until last year. So it's, for me at least, this is something that's just kind of came out of nowhere and just kind of kicked us all in the face.
I mean, I heard a little bit about it forever ago on, I watched a documentary on, the dark web in, 2013, and they mentioned cryptocurrency. I don't think they specifically mentioned Bitcoin, but yeah, it's not obviously been as prominent as it has in the last 8 to 12 months.
And in case anybody was worrying, it is predicted that the price of graphics cards will be coming down here in a couple months. I know. So if you're thinking about doing it, you might want to just hold off and get it. That way you can save yourself a little money. Otherwise, you may be paying a little more than you would otherwise. But yeah, right now is not the time to be doing any of that. But they will say the craze started up and it's going to die down here soon. So a little, not as much.
The prophecy has spoken.
Yeah, just mark my word. It won't be up forever.
So I think what we should all take away from this is we're all getting gaming PCs, right?
I think that is safe to say.
And on that, it's time to
No,
end.
no.
Speak the word, Blake.
I don't know. I mean, if I had the money, I'd have probably already had one built. But the one that I want to build before the graphics card doubled in price was about $1,200. Because I'm one of those that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right the first time, spend the money up front. So in a few weeks or a few months, I'm not having to buy more things.
Right.
So that's my main thing with it. If I had the money, yeah, I probably would. But good old Uncle Sam likes to run one up in there and break it off sometimes. So,
Oh, man, so much demonetization.
that's all right.
It's all over the place.
We'll make it. But anyways, we appreciate everybody coming in today. And I'm going to get it right this time so we don't have to do a double take. We have been the Broken Controller Show. And we'll see you guys next time.